For this lesson, we're going to talk about graphing with standard form. Now, standard form is just a different way of writing a linear equation. We've already worked with the slope-intercept form, so now we're going to learn how to do it with standard form. And the equation is ax plus by equals c, where a is the coefficient of x, b is the coefficient of y, and c is some constant not associated with x or y. Typically, the only rules that are required here are that a and b are both real numbers. Typically, that means that fractions are okay, negatives are okay, but we prefer both a and b not be equal to 0 at the same time because that doesn't actually give you a line. Now here we have an example of standard form. In this particular problem, a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to 6. Very, very easy, and it doesn't actually matter what order the equation is written in. The coefficient of x is always a, the coefficient of y is always b, and the constant is always c. The only requirement for standard form is that x and y are on one side and the constant is on the other side. Now the next step is going to be actually graphing standard form as a line. And how do we do that? Well, we use the x and y intercepts, and we'll basically be able to just connect the dots after that. But let's take a look at this. We start off with our same equation. We already know what a, b, and c are. But if we want to find the x-intercept, well, the quickest way to find an x-intercept is to remember that y has to be 0 for the x-intercept. Well, if y is equal to 0, 0 times 3 is 0, and we end up with 2x equals 6. Well, I'm pretty sure that's going to mean x equals 3. We divide both sides by 2, and that's what we get. Now notice I'm writing my x-intercept as a set of an ordered pair. It's an x and a y coordinate, not just x equals 3, but x equals 3 and y equals 0. If you don't have both, you don't actually have a coordinate. Now we'll go ahead and solve for the y-intercept, and we'll make x equal to 0. Well, 2 times 0 is 0, so you end up with 3y equals 6. Divide both sides by 3, and you find out that the y-intercept is 2. Pretty easy, actually. The last step is actually graphing our points on a graph. Well, we'll start with our x-intercept, 3, 0. So we go 3 spaces to the right on the x-intercept, we put a dot, and that's our x-intercept. Now we want the y-intercept, which is 0, 2, which is 2 spaces up on the y-axis. And we have our 2 dots, and really all that's left at this point is connecting the dots, and we will have our line. This is a very simple process. You just have to be confident in finding the x and y intercept and know how to connect the dots.